Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Lessons for Life from Swami Jagadatmananji's inspiring bestseller Learn to Live, Volume 2, Chapter 1. Give up worries and anxieties. To be pure, to be good, to be unselfish is the essence of all religions. Trust or faith in these higher values of life does not mean blind faith. Trust or faith in these higher values of life does not mean blind faith. This is highlighted in this very thoughtful discussion. Blind faith. Those who, after acquiring half-baked knowledge of science, claim to have absorbed the true scientific spirit, and the leaders owing allegiance to special political theories may debunk faith, especially faith in ideas like God, religion, and soul as blind belief or superstition. Granted that such criticism follows certain malpractices that are present in the name of religion, can we agree that all this is valid criticism? It is for all to see what great fruits the sacred tree of religion has borne, the men of noblest character. If anybody, without any deep study of the inspiration behind such great characters and their firm moral fervor, debunks their attitude as blind belief, their own words are a concrete example of narrowness of mind and a kind of blind belief. Again, it is baseless to argue that science has acted as detrimental to religious belief or religious thought. It is true that science, with its discoveries, uprooted a few blind beliefs, but the principles propagated by the great religions of the world, the moral values to be followed by human beings who are social beings, are not within the purview of the investigation of truth as understood by science. Love of truth, respect of justice, willingness to help, self-control. No sane person will ever oppose these virtues. The essential teaching of religion is that man should not, for the sake of momentary pleasure, denigrate these virtues and live a life of weakness and deprivation. For a full development of these virtues, a trust, faith in transcendental reality, which is beyond the limits of ordinary perception, or in God, is essential. The great mystics of the world have realized these principles, these truths, and have demonstrated their validity in their life. The famous historian Arnold Toynbee declared, "The Indian religions are not exclusively minded. They are ready to allow that there may be alternative approaches to the mystery. I feel sure that in this they are right, and that this Catholic-minded Indian religious spirit is the way of salvation for human beings of all religions in an age in which we have to learn to live as a single family if we are not to destroy ourselves." It cannot be denied that in molding the character of men, concepts like God and soul, which have been established as absolute truths, play a vital role. W.N. Sullivan says, "Science deals with but a partial aspect of reality. There is no faintest reason for supporting that everything science ignores is less real than what it accepts. We are no longer taught that the scientific method of approaching is the only valid method of acquiring knowledge about reality. Eminent men of science are insisting, with what seems a strange enthusiasm, on the fact that science gives us a partial knowledge of reality, and we are no longer required to regard as illusory everything that science finds itself able to ignore. Professor Lecomte said, incompatibility between science and faith exists in the minds of those who want such an incompatibility. It is not out of place to remember the words of W.J. Solas. In matters of philosophy and religion, science is not the arbiter. The final judgment on ultimate questions must always rest with philosophy and religion themselves. Tomorrow we will be discussing a very important episode, Ultimate Reality. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.